third thing you want to think about when choosing a milk for your family is what nutrients are you prioritizing? To talk about how to choose a milk. So first, do you want to serve a milk? If not, then you're good. You don't need to serve milk. There are some things that you need to keep in mind if this is you, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So second thing to think about when deciding how to choose a milk. Do you or someone in your family have a food allergy or an intolerance? Now, obviously the person with an allergy should avoid their allergen, but if someone in your house has an allergy, you might choose to only serve one type of milk to the whole family because either that allergen being in the house is an unsafe thing or you don't want to deal with buying more than one type of milk. That's perfectly reasonable. We personally usually have 2 to 3 types of milk in our fridge, but that's not always practical or affordable for many families. Now, the third thing you want to think about when choosing a milk for your family is what nutrients are you prioritizing? So I highlighted the key nutrients that I typically prioritize for my patients, but some may be especially important depending on the child. For example, for a child who's struggling with weight gain, calories and protein might take priority over something like calcium content or vitamin D. So in this case, if your child prefers the taste of oat milk, then that might be a good option for you. But if all the nutrients I highlighted are important and your child doesn't have any growth concerns, oat milk might not be the best choice. So there's a great example of how I would use the nutrients in selecting a milk that's right for my family based on my kids' specific needs. Now, obviously we have to be thinking about the cost when we're picking a milk too. So when you're choosing a milk for your family, the cost can play a really big role. Cow's milk is the cheapest choice, followed by almond, soy, oat, pea, flax, and goat. So I live in Arizona, and at Walmart, a half gallon of cow's milk costs $1.61. So a half gallon of soy milk costs $2.57. Half gallon of pea milk costs $5.29. And for a half gallon of goat's milk, that's gonna run you a whopping $7.88. So another important thing to keep in mind about the cost of milk is that a higher cost does not indicate a higher nutritional quality for your child. Cow's milk and goat's milk are both very nutritionally similar, but they vary vastly in cost. No parent should ever feel guilty about purchasing the most affordable milk option for your child, which is cow's milk, and no parent should feel that they need to sacrifice in their budget in order to buy a more expensive milk. So if you want to buy a more expensive milk because you have the means to or you enjoy the taste, then that's great. You definitely should do that, but assuming no allergies or intolerances, it's not a nutritional necessity to spend more money on milk. Now, one final note about cost, those with food allergies often don't have the option to purchase the most affordable food products, and as an allergy parent, I know this is frustrating, so I see you on that. All right, so now I'm gonna share with you my favorite milk option. So again, due to the cost, I'm not a big fan of goat's milk. So drum roll. My favorite milks are cow, soy, and pea milk. Each of these contribute very important nutrients to kids, and if your child is struggling in the growth department, then my 2 favorite options for you are gonna be cow or soy. In the Arnold household, we usually have whole cow's milk and pea milk in our fridge. So which milks am I not a fan of, or I'm generally gonna give a thumbs down? Again, obviously this decision needs to be individualized, but this is my average thumbs down. So first, oat. Oat milk, while it's high in calories, is just low in protein. It's average in calcium, average in fat content, and with the price being in the middle range, the cost to me just doesn't seem worth it for a low protein option. Next, almond and coconut milk, the protein content is horrible. While the calcium in almond milk is great, these milks just don't contribute much in the calorie department too. So do you want to serve your kids oat, almond, flax, or coconut milk? Then that's great. Those can totally be a part of a balanced diet, but don't assume that these milk options are nutritionally similar to cow's milk. So you might be thinking, Dr. Arnold, what do I do when my kid doesn't want milk, especially if they're a young toddler and I want them to have milk? So we can work with this. My daughter, she wasn't much of a milk drinker. She has maybe 4 ounces of milk per day. She's 3 now, and that's pretty much been like that since she turned 1. So if you're not serving milk to your kid or they're refusing it, you're gonna need to prioritize adequate calories, protein, calcium, and vitamin D in your child's diet. But to be honest, this is important and something we should be prioritizing anyways, regardless of their milk consumption. So it's really not that different. So if your child is picky, this can obviously be a little bit more challenging to get a nice variety of nutrients into their diet. But at Growing Intuitive Eaters, there's lots of tools that I teach to help with that. So what if your child doesn't want to drink any milk and is struggling with weight gain? So things like smoothies, oatmeals, pastas, cereals, bars, and muffins are all really easy foods to add some extra calories to. Good calorie boosting foods include things like flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp hearts, butter, heavy cream, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, nut butters, avocado, beans, peas, and tofu. Now, if you are concerned with your child's weight, I highly recommend that you reach out to your pediatric dietitian. We can evaluate you for underlying medical and or behavioral reasons that might be contributing to your child's difficulty gaining weight. Plus, we can give you strategies that work for your family's unique needs.